Man, guys, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but because of the restraints in the marketplace, it's hard to find two blackouts at the same time. Chevy, Ram, we got them both, guys. Only thing I'm missing is a Ford truck, but as my channel grows, hopefully I can start, maybe getting all three at the same time a little bit easier, but it's hard right now. This is the midnight, this is the night. Who wears it better? That's the question. I'm not going to answer that question, but there is a true winner here today. It all depends on how you guys look at this. Now, on this side, I'm running out of sunlight, so we're going to kind of do this kind of quickly today. Look at the sides of these trucks. There's something about this Chevy Silverado I love so much more than the Ram. What do you think it is? I'm going to get a little closer. Just saying. You can clearly see it. It's the tires. Now, this is an 18-inch wheel. This is a 20-inch wheel. I think that GM does a lot better when it comes down to tire selection. Ram, on the other hand, you guys are like lazy. Come on. The same tire on every truck, even if you get a top of the line, we got to change that. Now, the night edition and the midnight edition packages look great, but adding an off-road tire to the mix, it just kills it. And I think that the Chevy really is like on point with those meaty tires. These are Hankooks, and they're called Dyna Pro MT2s. And over here we have a Firestone Transforce all-terrain, and I mean, it's not an all-terrain tire. I mean, this is a fake all-terrain tire. I hate these tires personally. Whenever I buy a Ram truck, they're gone. They don't last more than 100 miles on my truck. Now, they do sell pretty quickly. LT 285/60 is this tire, and I believe this is a 275, which is right here. It shows LT 275/70/18. And I just think that overall, when it comes down to this, the small things in life, tire selection is key. And I really think that the GM truck wins 100% there. I want to take a quick break to show you the price point for the Midnight Edition package. If you would like to purchase this package, it is going to increase the price actually to $4,305 as opposed to the $2,035. And that's because you have to add the Z71 package. You also have to add the LTZ Plus package, LTZ Convenience package, and I believe it comes with a spray and bed liner too if you get the midnight. So here's everything that comes with this package as well. So with that being said, it does increase the price a good bit. Now let's take a look at the Ram. I am looking at a Laramie trim, and the Silverado was a LTZ, so I want to clarify that too. Now the night edition for the Ram is $25.95, and when you click add, they do give you an option between two packages that you have to select. So even though $25.95 is the night edition price, you either have to add a 1730 Laramie Level A package, which would bring the price to $4,325 for the night edition in this, or you have to add the Level B, which is $4,025, which would bring the total to $6,620. So just keep these things in mind. So even though you would like to purchase the night edition, you would have a few other things you have to attach to it. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's get really controversial on my channel. I'm gonna get controversial. Now listen, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We got the tow mirrors on the Ram truck. I think, this is just me being a Ram boy, I love my mirrors. I think they look cool, and if you put them in this tow mode, as I call it, they look cool and they're so much more functional. Now with GM, their mirrors stay like this all the time. However, you can push a button on the inside to extend them out if you need to tow something going down the road. Yeah. Who has the better mirrors? I'm going to be biased. I like the Rams better, and here's why. You can control the convex on the inside without having to come out here and move it with your hand. So I do like that aspect a lot better. You do have the LED lights. I think GM's been doing that a lot longer than Ram has, I'll be honest there. But I just think that when you have them in tow mode, they definitely work better. Now, if you're not towing a trailer, if you push them down, they are pretty functional and they work well. Now, let's take a look at these Chevy mirrors. I do like that they use a painted trim piece to go around it, just to kind of add some accent to this mirror. I personally think that Ram should kind of do something similar to that piece that pops up, or at least put like a small trim piece on the top here with with a paint to kind of match the paint color too. I think it'll look nice. But yeah, I can't give another win to GM, but I have to. I think the mirrors are a lot nicer on the GM. I can't give the win to Ram. I mean, I like the convex, but I think that as far as appearance, and that's what we're talking about today, appearance, the appearance win goes to the GM truck. Man, that's two. That's two, guys. Now let's talk about fender flares. So on the Ram trucks, if you do get a Laramie and up, they do provide fender flares for the truck. Okay, this truck obviously has them, and I do think they add a nice flare. In the comment section, what are your thoughts on that? That might be controversial. Some people don't like fender flares. I think that the Ram wears it well. They did redesign them for 2019. They kind of gave it a little bit more flair. The older 2018 and earlier trucks were more rounded. These are a little bit more like have like a little bit more of a sharper edge right here, and I think they look really classy. On the GM truck though, they just did a plastic trim piece right here. The win goes to Ram 100%. And I think most people are not gonna deny that. Now, another thing that people don't like about GM trucks is that they don't round the around the wheel and the wheel well. I don't really care about that. I think that it looks kind of aggressive. Here's a rounded one on the Ram. Get a little bit closer for you. And here's the more squared off wheel well. I don't really think that it looks bad, but I do think the win goes to the Ram when it comes down to the painted fender flares over the just a cheap plastic trim piece. Let's talk about the emblems, because emblems are a big deal on blackouts. So with Ram, they definitely black out just about every emblem. They do keep this in red, which I think is a good accent. On the front end, I'll show this to you in a second. I'm going to change the position of the trucks. But on the front end, you do have like a matted emblem. Same thing goes for the side ones. It has like a matted look to it. It does say Cummins too. And here's the one on the bottom too. And this one does have an off-road badge because it has the Bilsteins and the downhill assist. You can, however, delete this badge if you don't want it on there. And then here's just a look at those badges on the back. Again, they are matted. And the housing around the taillights are black, kind of like up here. And then this piece here is blacked out. Now, as far as the front end goes for the badges for the GM truck, they don't necessarily have a badge. They just spelled out Chevy in this grill, which is blacked out. They do have the Z71 badge on the side there. And we'll show another view of that front in a second here. Now, on the side, they did not black this out. I would have liked to seen this blacked out. I think that this was kind of cheap or lazy on GM's part to leave this all chrome when you have a blackout. I mean, come on. Just go ahead and black that out. I mean, you're doing a lot of these trucks anyways. A lot of people love the blackout, so just spend the extra money and give a blackout Z71 badge. Now, GM does it a little bit differently. They don't matte their emblems. They actually give it a gloss, which I like a little bit better. I think it looks really nice, and it does match the wheels. Now, I didn't mention this on the Ram. The badges and their appearance do match the wheels too. They're kind of like a matted wheel, kind of. It doesn't have like a high gloss to it, but it's a little bit of a gloss, but it's very matted, kind of like the emblems. And same thing goes for the running boards. On the GM trucks, they do have an availability for power deployable steps. The Ram does have those steps there. And yeah, like I said, I think that when it comes down to the overall appearance, I think that the Ram's a little bit better, personally. I do like the gloss on the badges, and you can tell out back too, you know, on a black truck, they do blend in really well, so it almost looks like you don't have any badges. Alright, so I did the front ends kind of like last in the video because I want to spend a little bit more time up front. So let's start with the Ram. Ram does upgrade the grille on the Laramie. Now, if you were to get like a Bighorn, sorry, we're gonna walk over here real quickly. They did redesign the grille for the Bighorn. This is the Blackout grille for this truck. So they do give you like a kind of like a bright painted trim piece on each side, but the rest of the grille is matted. As far as the Laramie grille goes, they do that bright painted look all the way across, except on that Ram part, which is just matted out. And it has a really nice appearance to it. The surround for the grille is painted too. So all of this is painted. And down below, you do have like a more of a mesh design. You do have black tow hooks, which come standard even if you don't get the Blackout. And let's check out the GM. So as I mentioned earlier, GM kind of follows that same painted grille, and they spell out the Chevy, so you don't really have to worry about blacking out the emblem, which is kind of smarter on their part. And yeah, the grille design is actually, really simple, tasteful, and all the way around this whole front end on the front is all blacked out. Down below, you do have a black bumper. Now, one thing I don't like about the GM truck is how they position these parking sensors. So you see them right here. I think that Ram does it better. They actually hide the sensors, and they actually have an additional sensor on the side here, and they have one there, and they're integrated into the grille, and the same thing goes on that side too. So I think that you can't really see the sensors, and they don't mess with the flow of the bumper. So on the GM truck though, you just have those little dots, and so I think that Ram did a good job cleaning that up. They both have the painted bumpers. However, that little piece below the bumper is a little bit bigger on the Ram truck. Both trucks are going to have LED headlights, low and high beams. If you were to move up to a higher trim, Ram does give you LED turn signals. However, these bulbs, and the same thing goes for the Chevrolet, are all incandescent bulbs. You do have a design too. I'll try to remember to show this to you a little later. If I may not, I'll be honest with you. But they do have a design around the headlights. Same thing goes for the Ram truck. LED fog lights on both sides. However, I think that the fog lights on the Ram are better. They're a little bit sleeker, whereas I think the design on the GM truck's just a little bit more. They just kind of throw them on there basically. They are projector, however. They did use like a projector style for those. But overall, in the comment section, who do you think wins? You do have a hood scoop on the GM truck, although it's not functional because this is a gas engine. But if you were to get the diesel like this truck, it would be a functional hood scoop. I don't know who wins that. I think that if I were choosing front ends, I think I like the Ram a little bit better. This design is nice. I don't have anything against the GM truck. I know a lot of people hate this, but with the Blackout, there's no denying it. It looks really aggressive. So you guys vote for me. I think that the win goes to Ram, honestly. I like the overall design of the headlights a lot better. And it's kind of the same technology. You have the dual beam, low beam. Same thing goes for the Chevy. And then you have a high beam LED. Same thing goes here. And then you have the accent lights around it too. I mean, even if you get a little bit closer, Ram did take the step to actually black these out. This design comes standard on all the GM trucks. So they do go a step further and add an additional light, which is blacked out from Ram. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking, what about the interior? But we're not going to even go there, because until GM fixes their interior, Ram's going to win that hands down. I will say though, the GM truck did have heads-up display that's not available on the Ram, so that is one good advantage. But nevertheless, there's no denying this interior. And they stole this from GM too. since you stayed to the end, here's the output for the GM. So as I said, you have that low beam, dual beam. Same thing goes for the Ram. And you do have those fog lights on too. Thanks again for watching.